Penn State's World in Conversation project is collaborating with the Aware Center in Kuwait to facilitate cross-cultural dialogues between students. Laurie Mulvey, Executive Director of the World in Conversation project, talks with Ebrahim Adsani, General Manager of the Aware Center, about the importance of the partnership.
Welcome to Penn State. It's nice to see you in person after a year of seeing you on the video screen as we do our video dialogues.
Yeah, I saw you in Kuwait also.
Yeah, so we had this nice meeting, very quick meeting in Kuwait, and actually that leads me to my first question for you. So what was it about what you heard about the World in Conversation project and what is the Aware Center that made you feel like you wanted to begin some kind of partnership with us?
I think I was fortunate that we've met in Kuwait, and when you started talking about the World in Conversation, the moment you mentioned that the word dialogue just clicked, because at the Aware Center, the organization that we have established in Kuwait, mainly focused on building the bridges between the two cultures, the Western culture and the Arab culture. And among the main things that we do is the positive dialogue. Mm-hmm. So each culture would know more about the other culture and would know the differences between them, and they can negotiate and respect those differences. And we always had difficulties in terms of bringing the students into our organization. So when you mentioned dialogue and students, I clicked that I want to get on board and get into that project. And we are fortunate to have that alliance with the World in Conversation project here at Penn State, partnering with our organization, our center at Kuwait.
It's been amazing for us as well to bring American students into conversation with students from the Middle East first, and then students in Kuwait secondarily. It's amazing to watch what little bit of information, a little bit of contact with people who are unknown to one another can do.
The students in Kuwait do appreciate the opportunity that they are getting the chance to speak with their counterpart students in Penn State, and to have the chance to express their thoughts and to have the ability to share their ideas with students in the States, and also have the chance to listen from the students from the States. And attending the session yesterday that took place at your center, the World in Conversation, and I saw the positive dialogue and the respect between the two sides of the students.
What did you see, like specifically, if you could give an example that you thought was an experience, a part of the conversation that you think this is why we're doing this?
I was amazed about the language that the students are using, the level of respect, the perfect choice of wordings. When they were talking, I was thinking that people go to school and go into training just to reach that level of diplomacy. And here those students, just in less than minutes, they are engaging in that dialogue and have that level of diplomacy to talk about issues that concern both cultures.
It's like they really see each other. I got the feeling that they felt that people on the other side were seeing them, regardless of what side, and they were so willing. And I remember the one student in Kuwait said, "Ask me anything, anything you want to ask." She was just making it so easy for people to relate to her.
It's just like there is no borders between them.
Yeah.
As if they are although it's virtually happening, but it's just like they are really sitting in one room and talking with each other. And I know from my side that whenever the conversation ends, there's a great level of satisfaction and happiness with those students that they have, you know, they have gained friends, and
Absolutely.
they had the opportunity to talk to them, and they keep just saying, when is the next session? I mean, we want to engage in that session. So I'm assuming the same thing with the students here at Penn State.
Yeah, we see typically, or it's actually more of a feeling. It feels like things are melting off of the students, of the Penn State students, as they're listening. You know, ideas that they might have had, or misconceptions, or fears even, start to, you can actually feel them go away. And I'm thinking actually of a specific example. Last semester, somehow we started to have a conversation that got into 9/11. I don't know if you were observing that conversation, and talking about terrorism. And the students from Kuwait talked to the American students about how at that time they put flowers in particular places in honor of the victims of 9/11. And the American students were, you could almost feel chills on them, and I remember them stopping and really pausing and directly saying, thank you for doing that for us.
Yeah, I was in that session.
That was just, it was incredible. And you know, they walked away saying that they couldn't believe that that was true, that people on the other side of the world were caring about their people. And it's those kinds of experiences that I see, that just those moments like that, that change everything.
The theme of that respect is there, and this is what we want. I mean, you can't make all culture are the same. The beauty thing about us is that we are different, and we could benefit from that difference rather than making it as a barrier. So it really amazed me. I mean, the degree of and the level of truly the diplomacy of those students. They are truly representative of their cultures.
I agree with you. I felt like once they were talking to one another and hearing the differences and really seeing the humanity in one another, it felt like that respect was just naturally right there. Like, how could you not respect that? And that made me feel like that really is positive, powerful.
Years ago, I mean, the word, when we get into dialogue, the word respect rarely used. The word tolerance is used. Okay, I can tolerate you, but now that word has almost disappeared. Now it's about respect. Maybe I don't understand the way you do things, but I respect it, and I would expect the same thing. That you might not understand the way things I do it, but you respect me, and there will be a huge ground that would be common between the two cultures.
What do you see as the potential for this partnership in terms of these video dialogues? What do you see going forward?
I think there's a great potential for that dialogue. There's lots of opportunities has opened. I think it's very beneficial for our students in Kuwait to engage in dialogue with students in Penn State. It will help them to express their thoughts. It will help them to know the American culture and appreciate it. It will help them to modify the level of engaging in a dialogue. Also, it will help the students who are planning, for example, to continue their education in the States to have a clear picture of what's happening over there and how the students are. And at the same time, part of our mission is to help in removing the misconceptions between the two cultures. Thus, such a program is helping us a lot. And it is becoming one of the core aspects of the Aware Center because it's focusing now on the youth. So I'm seeing real growth in that program. We will be hopefully expanding it next fall to engage more students and to cover wide aspects of topics. So it's definitely an important project. And what the World in Conversation is doing, it's really amazing.
And I have another thought on another aspect of these conversations is the training of the facilitators.
Seeing the session yesterday and how our facilitator led the conversation, and seeing the terrific way the facilitator here in the United States led the conversation, it shows that we are on the right track, that we're doing well in training the facilitators so they can take the dialogue to the next level.
Right. Yeah, I think it's always gratifying to watch from just a small amount of training, like what's possible, because I think conversations can happen and maybe they can be a good conversation just by chance, but when you have people there whose total reason for being there is just to help the conversation move forward and to help the participants share, it changes everything.
It's truly amazing, and anyone who just come and visit and see the conversation live, and the type of topics that they are talking about, he will be or she will be amazed. Maybe you recall when we invited the U.S. ambassador in Kuwait to attend one of the sessions, Ambassador Matthew, he was amazed to see the dialogue and the conversation, and he said to the students, I mean, we are paid to do that, and you are not.
And you're doing
it. And you're doing it better than what we are doing. So it's no doubt this is an excellent cause. I mean, regardless of the magnitude that we are achieving, but it is a noble cause to bridge the gap, to bring people together, to help in bringing peace. So all of that makes the dialogue is the ideal thing to do and to follow.
I don't know, maybe when we're in midlife, we start to see the importance of dialogues in different ways, because we understand the things that are happening in the world because dialogue isn't happening. But to watch, young people with the inspiration in themselves to say, no, this really matters to our lives, that is so powerful to me.
I think what would be also nice to happen, I attended the session that you guys did at the conference, the Alliance, the United Nations Alliance for Civilization that took place in Doha, Qatar. And I saw the live session, not live, I mean actual session, where the students from Gaza were in a dialogue with a student from Penn State, and there is absolutely no barrier. They are in the same room talking to each other, and seeing the emotions at the end, it was so powerful that led me to think about the idea that truly maybe at the end of the year, that probably we choose some of the best students who participated in the dialogue to come and visit us in Kuwait and to engage in a live session with the students in Kuwait. So the whole community would see what is happening and to see the fruit of that dialogue and to value what we are doing in Kuwait or what you're doing from your side at Penn State.
Because it's really hard for people to see what do we really mean when we talk about a dialogue until you actually witness and watch like what moves inside of people when they actually have this encounter. And I was also thinking that it's important to mention that if you're thinking about bringing people together, we have it'll probably be about 100 Penn State students by that time who will have been through the dialogue. So we've been doing these dialogues every week for 2 semesters so far. And that's a good pool of people to start for a brand new project for us to be starting with that many to work with.
Yeah, I think if we could manage to accomplish something like that, it will be good for both of us. How do you see your students getting out from such dialogue?
What do I see them taking with them? I see them taking maybe just like what I'm just doing right now, a pause. I think that what I'm hearing sometimes students saying is, I don't even know how I have the ideas that I have. First they have to unpack, what do I actually think about the Middle East, or about Arabs, or about Muslims? These all things come together. And then they realize that they have ideas, there's fear, and there's just some kind of unknown, strange quality that they are carrying. And for the most part, I see them putting that aside, realizing that there can be a pause between an encounter with somebody that new to them and their thought about it. And so it's like it's given them space to say, oh wait, I can put my programming aside, whatever that's been, and I can say, wait a minute, let me just look right at you and see who you are. And I think somebody yesterday in the dialogue, in a conversation we had, I'm not sure if it was this particular one, we have so many of them, but challenged American students to reach out to international students. It might have even been you. Because they're the ones, it was you, they're the ones that are visitors here, and I think this is a new idea. Like, oh, right, yeah, we forgot. So it's like that. I feel like that happens all the time. It's just these little moments of steering in a little bit of a different direction, and I think that those tiny acts, as we say, have profound effects. And so that's the biggest thing. Is, I mean, because most of the students have a one-time conversation, and a lot of people think, well, what's that? What's a one-time conversation? But I think it just gives them enough to question their initial reactions to something. To say, oh wait, I don't know these people yet. Let me meet them first. Yeah,
that's good. I mean, here in the U.S., there is a large community of international students, and the students would have the opportunity to meet with them. This is not available in Kuwait. Most of the students, if not all of the students, they are Kuwaitis. So when they are in the class, they are with Kuwaitis,
right.
Which make their way of thinking almost narrowed. Thus, having that conversation and had that dialogue with students from here, from the U.S., will help them to even widen their way of thinking and to see the clearer picture of how things are happening.
Right, which is interesting to hear, because I always think that, I tend to have the thought that a lot of Americans are sort of insulated from the rest of the world, and so to have someone reminding us that, well, no, actually a lot of people come here, and we do have the opportunities to meet people all the time that aren't American, and that's a really important reminder.
Yeah, and even for the students on both sides, sometimes maybe for people like my age, when they get into a dialogue, they always have the thought that we are in a debate.
Right.
So someone has to beat someone.
Right.
And that's not the case at all with the conversation between those two students from Penn State and from Kuwait. It was about, I mean, each one, I've sensed that, I've seen that, each one of them wanting to listen and to understand and to get the view from the other side, wanted to learn it, grasp it. If not, fine. The bottom line, I will respect it. I will try to understand it, but if I can't, I mean, this is a very beautiful concept that we need to teach the whole world about it. That hey, if we differ, let us respect each other.
Yeah, it's tempting to want to put video screens everywhere and
Yes.
just have people sitting in front of them and meeting people. That we can do this is amazing.
I'm very fortunate to be here and to witness the session. I witnessed the session in Kuwait, but now I had the opportunity to witness the session from here, from Penn State, and this just gave me the determination to go forward. I mean, this is a project that should not stop. This is a project that should expand.
And I'm so glad you had the opportunity to come and be with us and to see it live from this side. And like I said earlier, to just trust that this partnership could really work.
I do trust that.
I hope to see you back here again and for us to be in Kuwait again.
Okay. We would say, inshallah.